What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 2023 NFL Draft Party Watch Party right here on Talking Mets and Rob. Yes, this is a baseball channel, but the NFL is always king, and the draft party is here. Round one of the 2023 NFL Draft. We'll be going through the NFL Draft throughout the day. You'll get the audio throughout the round one, so you'll hear the draft picks, and you'll have a visual of the pick that was and the next pick that will happen and the next team that will happen that will be making their next pick. So welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new to the channel, say what's up. Do not be shy, guys. Let me know where you're watching from or where you're listening from, and hopefully your team picks the player that you want and that will make your team better and make your team maybe get to the next level. There was a couple of quarterbacks in this draft. Some think that might go number one. Some might think all four of the top quarterbacks might go in the top 10. A lot of things to talk about. But before we get started with the NFL draft and the possibility of what's going to happen during the draft, earlier today we have the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson come to a deal with an extension, $52 million per year, 5 years, $260 million with $185 million guaranteed. So Lamar Jackson will remain a Raven, gets that big contract. After so much controversy with his lack of an agent, his mother is an agent, the Ravens going back and forth, and the possibility of maybe Lamar Jackson might be going somewhere else, possible trade. Possibly somebody comes with a bigger offer, but he never got an offer from anybody. So a lot of people thought that Lamar Jackson wanted a guaranteed contract, 100%, similar to the Deshaun Watson contract with the Browns. But he gets under $200 million guaranteed, 185 to be exact. Total contract is $260, but the 5-year deal, $52 million per year, the biggest contract compared to all quarterbacks. That will change rather quickly. It seems like every year another quarterback makes it higher when they get an extension. So Lamar Jackson will be a Raven for the foreseeable future. And that is also with the signing of OBJ as well. So he's got a wide receiver to throw to for the next couple of years as well. So with that said, guys, welcome to Talking Mets and Rob. Yes, this is a baseball channel, but we're going to talk NFL draft today. Carolina Panthers are on the clock, number one pick overall. Everybody thinks, a lot of people do it, according to the poll right now, that Bryce Young is going to be the overall number one pick for the Carolina Panthers. There was some speculation that the Will Levis, because of that Reddit thread and all the stuff that came out of that he could be the number one pick coming out of Kentucky. That is something that is interesting because, yes, he is comparable. Some people are comparing him to like a Josh Allen. He's got the build for that. He's a big boy, Kentucky Wildcat. Didn't really have a great season. His numbers doesn't, shine off the page there when it comes to stats. But he looks like a quarterback, and he's a big boy. And the way quarterbacks are being taken now, you got to have a little bit of speed. You got to be big. You got to be able to take hits. And that's the criticism of Bryce Young. He's short. He's under 6 feet. And quarterbacks under 6 feet usually don't work. There's a very, very small amount that have been very good in the NFL, and that is something that people are going to be talking about if Bryce Young probably would be in the top 10, obviously, depending on who you think would take him. But if the Panthers do take him, all that criticism is going to go is that he's under 6 feet. He's not a big, strong guy. He's a lanky guy. We've seen guys get injured rather quickly. He's a running quarterback as well as a throwing quarterback. So that is something that you always have to worry about if you're the Panthers. But the stats show how good he was at Alabama. And on top of that, his intangibles, his field IQ, he looks like a pro. He talks like a pro. His demeanor is there. He's all in, and that's what you want to see from an NFL player. You want to make sure they're all in. And then on the field, that's when you start to worry about the height. He has no problem with doing the play, reading the playbook, getting to know the playbook. He ran a pro style offense at Alabama, so that is something that is always a good thing. I do think the Carolina Panthers are going to take Bryce Young. That is my opinion, but I do think I like looking at stats. I can care less about his height. If you can play in college and throw balls the way he thrown balls in college with big ass linemen in your face. I know it's more of a spread out offense in college. The defense isn't, NFL speed type defense, but I do think that Bryce Young will be a very good at quarterback at the very least in the pro level. So that is what I think when it comes to the Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. So yes, the excuse me, and that is a home run. That sucks. Sorry, guys. I'm watching the Mets game. That's unfortunate. All right. So the Houston Texans got the number 2 pick. Some people think they're going to take an edge rusher. Some people think they're going to take a quarterback. Very interesting to see what the Texans do, even though they do got 2 picks in the first 12 picks of the draft. But I do think the Houston Texans, there was a lot of talk about Anthony Richardson as well. And CJ Stroud going to the Texans. That is very interesting. But the one thing I want to talk about, the Arizona Cardinals. We know they got Kyler Murray. He's going to be injured. He's not going to be able to play the year. And the Cardinals are probably not going to stay at that number 3 overall pick. There was some talk that the Tennessee Titans are going to trade up from 11. And that's something that is very interesting. Obviously, they got very interesting look at the fact that, it's a nice play by Lindor. And yes, the Arizona Cardinals look probably on the clock. They'll probably trade that pick to somebody, but there's a lot of talk about the Tennessee Titans trading up to get a quarterback. That is something that has been talked about, especially today when you look at everybody talking about with the mock drafts and all the NFL news that you've been getting in. So we'll see if anything happens with that. So I'm going to keep you guys through the top 10 picks of the first round. So we have an idea of what quarterbacks, what big-time offensive linemen and edge rushers. As we all know, O-line and edge rushers have been a big choice for a lot of teams and are like marquee picks now in the top 10 of the draft. So it's going to be very, very fun to see what's going to go on. The Indianapolis Colts looking for a quarterback. Who's going to be left on the board for the Indianapolis Colts? Very interesting to see. If you look down the list, Detroit, the Raiders possibly could be looking for probably, I'm thinking they're going to go look for O-line there. You're going to see the Seattle Seahawks. Obviously, you got Geno Smith, so I don't think they have to worry about a quarterback there. Atlanta Falcons, they think they have their quarterback. The Bears have their quarterback. The Eagles got their quarterback. So, besides the Panthers, the Texans, and the Colts, everybody else has quarterbacks, or at least believe they have quarterbacks, and that is something that you have to look at when it comes. You got 4 quarterbacks that could be at the top 10 of the draft. And again, Tennessee Titans are 11. If they feel that one of the, if there's a quarterback that they don't mind which quarterback they can get their hands on, and they can get one of them at 11, maybe they don't have to give up draft capital to get him. To get a quarterback, Anthony Richardson seems like a guy that might slip out of the top 10, might be the 4th quarterback taken. But also, again, it is a very wide open draft. I still think Bryce Young is going to go number 1, but it is very interesting to look at to see, because 3 out of the top 10 3 teams in the top 10 are looking for a quarterback. That is the Texans, that is the Colts, and that is the Carolina Panthers. So that's something that you also have to look at too. So it is very interesting to see what's going to happen in this draft. When we're only about 5 minutes away for the draft, and Carolina Panthers will be on the clock. And I think if Carolina throws a little wrench in everybody's thought process and don't take Bryce Young, I think the Texans will take Bryce Young. And then it'll be very interesting because if the Panthers take, let's say, Levis, that would be interesting too because now you got C.J. Stroud. Where he's going to go? That number 3 overall pick that the Cardinals have might be get less capital in total. Well, actually, with the draft picks now and when you make trades, it's actually hard to, it's actually a limit and what you can actually send to the other team to move up in the draft. But the Arizona Cardinals have a lot to think about. You can get a lot of good players. You can get an offensive lineman and just stick at number 3. Would you want to take an O lineman at number 3? Why not? There's been number 1 overall picks that have been linemen. So will the Cardinals hang tight and get that overall best player available, not counting a quarterback? That is something that the Cardinals have to think about too. I mean, Kyler Murray has gotten destroyed when it comes to the lack of offensive line in Arizona. So, he even tweeted that he wants the Cardinals to get an offensive lineman. So it'd be interesting to see. But the Tennessee Titans are trying very hard to get at least in the top 6 of the draft, but I don't see anybody else moving except for the Arizona Cardinals. I think Seattle probably going to go edge rusher. Detroit might get an O-line. Vegas probably going to get an O-line. So it's a lot to look at when it comes to what's going to happen. When it comes to the Cowboys, I mean, I think they should just get best player available. I mean, some say, look for another wide receiver. Some say, why not bolster the defense even more? Maybe get an edge rusher as well. Or how about another offensive lineman, right? Their offensive line, we all talked about how good their offensive line was over the years, but they are getting older. So are they going to go O-lineman? So it is interesting to think what the Cowboys will do. The Cowboys are picking 26th. Again, this live stream won't go through there, but it'll go through the top 10. But I'm very interested to see what exactly they're going to do. Because it all revolves around, if the Carolina Panthers don't take Bryce Young, there's going to be a frenzy, especially if they take a guy that nobody thought like Anthony Richardson or Will Levis. C.J. Stroud, people like him, but when was the last time an Ohio State quarterback actually did well in the NFL? Again, you can't really look at it that way, but what if C.J. Stroud is the guy that goes number 1? Texans will take Bryce Young most likely. Now, number 3, you got the choice of Will Levis and Anthony Richardson at number 3. Cardinals ain't taking a quarterback. So will they trade up out of the 3rd pick or just take, as I said, an offensive lineman or maybe best player available? We shall see with that. So that's something that you just have to wait and see. In a few minutes, we got a couple of minutes until the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. They already know their pick. They know who they're taking. So it's just a matter of when we are going to know. And hopefully it's very, very quickly. So, and we'll see how the top 10 develops when you look at the entire rest of the draft. So once again, guys, don't forget to please hit on that like button. We take it through the top 10 of the NFL draft round 1. Alrighty. So let's see what is going on in the NFL world. We're going to throw on the draft just now. You will get the audio of the draft as well. So you get all that as well when you're here. So let's just see. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm changing back. The Ranger game is on. The Mets game is on. The draft is on. And a lot going on today. So if you're a sports fan, it's a damn good day to have all types of sports going on. Got a couple of my baseball guys here. I like it. Ken Stezo. All right, let's go. Let me just change to the new look, and we'll be ready to go, guys. Give me a second, and we'll be ready to go. All righty, here we go. All right, guys, so there we go. Waiting for the draft to start. All right. So, what do you guys think will Carolina take? Will they take Bryce Young? Or do you think they're going to put a wrench in everybody's decision and be like, wow, they took somebody else other than Bryce Young? And the only reason why I don't think they would take – the only reason why I think they would give a reason why they wouldn't take Bryce Young is very simple. the height. I think that is the problem that I think some teams, maybe even the Carolina Panthers, are worried about. That's the only other reason why, because you got all the intangibles. You got the IQ. His stats prove himself in a pro offense at Alabama, so it'll be very interesting to see what they will do. And at 5'10", that is a quarterback that, Drew Brees, as somebody said in the chat. Ken, I think he said it. So we will definitely see what it is when it comes to the Carolina Panthers. So here we go, guys. Draft is about to start, so listen up. Bryce Young is showing right now. Let's see if he's going to be the number 1 overall pick going to the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. Here we go, guys.
To the Texans, can he possibly drop when Will Levis have his name called before C.J. Stroud, and by whom Anthony Richardson, one of the most talented quarterbacks available in this year's draft from Florida. Where will he wind up? And there are terrific defense.
Large crowds in Kansas City where the NFL draft is. They're projecting 300,000 people. Pretty cool.
NFL Network's coverage of the 2023 NFL Draft, presented by Verizon. Honored and humbled to be sitting in this host chair for NFL Draft on NFL Network for a 19th time, 16th time gavel to gavel at the site. I am Rich Eisen, pleased to be joined once again by my colleagues, who I am thrilled to share the stage with. Daniel Jeremiah, good to see you here tonight. Charles Davis, and from Fox Sports, Joel Klatt, good to see you. DJ, your thoughts on tonight's festivities and proceedings?
Well, to me, it's quarterbacks. There are years we have to create them. We're trying to push these guys up. You don't have to do that this year. There's talent at this position, and it's only fitting we're here in Kansas City. You mentioned Patrick Mahomes. The other 31 teams are chasing the Chiefs, and if you don't have a big-time quarterback, you've got no shot. You also expect a little bit of chaos, right? Maybe we have a lot of draft trades and things of that nature. Joel Klatt, I'm looking forward to the chaos. And a lot of teams have people ranked differently in different positions on their board. You may actually get a chance at your number 1 guy that you didn't expect to get based on how these guys come off the board. So recently,
all right, guys. So we're just gonna wait until the commissioner says the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. We know the NFL draft is prolonged to the point where it's a little crazy, but we will wait and see until the commissioner says the Carolina Panthers are on the clock. So for you Met fans, I know this is the NFL draft right now. Justin Verlander will be pitching for Double-A Binghamton on Friday, tomorrow, to make his 1 rehab stop before he joins the Mets. So that is good news for all of us. We know we need that. So there you go right there, guys. So we're just waiting for the commissioner to come to the stage and put the Carolina Panthers on the clock. Big crowd in Kansas City. Interesting. But we're just waiting for the commissioner. So there's a lot of ways to watch the NFL draft. ESPN. I'm watching the NFL Network. I like that coverage a little bit better. But I'm still very, very interested to see what the Carolina Panthers are going to do. There's a lot of talk. We'll talk about the Jets a little bit since they're picking. They traded with, obviously got Aaron Rodgers. They are the 15th pick in the draft. I do think that, they can go a lot of different routes. Are they going to go O-lineman? Are they going to go for another wide receiver and bolster that offensive juggernaut with Aaron Rodgers? Are they going to go for an edge rusher? I mean, I think the top 2 positions they're going to be looking for is wide receiver and offensive lineman, but I think it would be smart to go after an offensive lineman, protect Aaron Rodgers. You protect him, he will cut up and slice up the defense. No doubt about that with Aaron Rodgers' skills. But, there was some talk about the offensive lineman from Northwestern that the Jets are that they really like. There's a couple of guys, the offensive lineman guys that you always hear about, right? The Georgia offensive lineman, the Iowa offensive lineman, the Northwestern offensive lineman. It seems like offensive linemen, Wisconsin guys always come from those type of schools. They're like an offensive line factory. those colleges. So be very interested to see what the Jets take. Again, with my Cowboys, I think they need to take best player available. If there's a wide receiver they like, take them. If there's an offensive lineman they like, take them. Edge rusher, take them. You want to bolster that defense, one of the best defensive in the NFL last year with the Cowboys. Take best player available. I think too many of these teams overthink their pick when if you're not too sure and you need, like the Giants can use everything from a wide receiver, from O lineman, edge rusher, cornerback, safety, everything. Take best player available. If you take the best player available, 9 out of 10 times, they're going to help your team some way, somehow, either on the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball. So we will see. We're still waiting to see what when the commissioner actually says Carolina is on the clock. So my Mets are tied. The Rangers are trying to score a goal against a rookie goaltender. And, jeez. So once again, guys, thank you for tuning in to the NFL Draft right here on Talking Mets and Rob. Just waiting for the draft to actually start, which would be nice. And just so you know, guys, on Sunday, the Knicks play the Heat for Game 1 of the next round of the round 2 of the NBA playoffs. I'll be doing a live stream for the Knicks. So that's another thing that people wanted me to do. So I'm going to do that as well. So we got a lot going on over the next week or so. We got NHL playoffs. People want me to do a Ranger live stream, do a Mets live streams, and then basketball live streams. We're going to do a lot here, guys. So let's see how much fun this will be with all these New York sports teams in the playoffs and all over the place. Baseball in the start of it. It's going to be very interesting to see. All right, guys. So waiting for the draft to start. As soon as it starts, here we go, guys. Commissioner is there getting booed.
Welcome to Kansas City and the 2023 NFL Draft. For the first time since we took the draft on the road, we get to celebrate the draft in the Super Bowl winning city with fans of all 32 teams and the Chiefs Kingdom. As you can see, I have some friends on stage with me that you might recognize. They are Kansas City natives and love this community and their Chiefs. Give it up for Eric Stonestreet and Heidi Gardner of Big Slate, Kansas City.
Okay, Kansas City, I'm so happy to be here. And it is my honor to bring to the stage right now Chiefs legends Dante Hall and Will Shields. Give it up!
All right, Kansas City, I want to hear you! All the Super Bowl champions! This is how we do it! I get the distinct pleasure of welcoming two people you might recognize! Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce! Kansas City, I think you can do a little bit louder than that. Chiefs Kingdom, can I hear you out there?
Hey, Chiefs game, are we in this thing or what? Hey, we flow right the party, baby. How about it? This thing Saturday or what? And hell, you gonna give me this mic like that? Hey, you ready to trade up for the number 1 pick this year or what? Please get it, please.
All right, Kansas City, it's time to get this show started. The 2023 NFL Draft is now officially open. The Carolina Panthers are on the clock.
All right, guys. Commissioner Roger Goodell, Carolina Panthers are on the clock. Let's see how long it takes them to make their pick. They all said they know it. Who they're going to take, we shall say.
A draft host city flex to put the Panthers on the clock. Checking in on the draft room look. They've said for days that they know who it's going to be, and to be very honest, the league essentially asked them, give us a couple minutes. Let's get things started. Let's talk about it. Let's go for the Lonnie Trophy away. Let's get Mahomes and Kelsey seated. This you do believe is going to be Bryce Young?
Yeah, I believe when they made this trade, this was the target. Even at that time, it was Bryce Young. They've done a nice job this offseason. The defense was in great shape. The offensive line was in
All right, guys. So we're waiting for Carolina to officially make the pick. Is it going to be Bryce Young? Everybody thinks it will be.
And I'm excited to see this young man, Bryce Young, in that offense. I think he's going to be able to get on the field day one.
And not only that, they're in a division that is ripe for the taking. So all the excellent offseason moves that Scott Fitterer made as a general manager and they made as a program, brand new head coach in Frank Reich. Bottom line is this: who's going to get the quarterback to dominate the division? Tom Brady no longer there in Tampa Bay. It is wide open there for Carolina. And how many times, Joe, have you seen the NFL? Someone goes from worst to first. Well, someone goes from down to right up to the top. You get the right guy, you can do that in NFC South.
And it's always surrounding the quarterback position. Right? The best quarterback in each division runs the division. There's 2 divisions in the National Football League that are, at least right now, with Aaron Rodgers moving on to New York, up for grabs. And you would say that. And so Carolina's got a chance. If they can get that guy that they think can run the division, then they're set up for a nice long run. I can tell you, Bryce Young, he's confident, he's accurate, he's a distributor. And in the modern day of football, even at the NFL level, I think he's a perfect fit. Kurt Warner?
And when I talk to Coach Reich, he always talks about processing. I want a quarterback that can process on schedule, that can move and process while he's on the move. And when you watch Bryce Young play, that is who he is. You can see him play on schedule, get the ball out on time, get that back foot, ball's going. You see him move, manipulate the pocket, and then reset quickly, process and make those throws down the field. I believe this is a no-brainer for Frank Reich getting this job in Carolina. DJ said it. They've built some good pieces there with that squad. They need that guy to be able to lead them, process the information that Frank likes to run at the line of scrimmage, and I believe that Bryce Young is that guy.
And let's not forget the NFC South no longer has Tom Brady perched within it. Derek Carr has just arrived to take the reins of the New Orleans Saints. Desmond Ritter of the Atlanta Falcons. You know, this is a division that is there in flux.
Still waiting for the pick
Bryce Young would be joining a division
to be made by the Carolina Panthers. They like to prolong this a hell of a lot.
Join us right now, please.
The rainy Kansas City.
It was Bryce Young. They really wanted to make him earn it. They got down to it. They did a full open evaluation of all the quarterbacks, and why they're settling on Bryce Young is pretty simple. They think he is brilliant. We've heard all about the S2 cognitive test that he scored a 98% on. That is not
So it looks like Bryce Young's already getting ready to walk over.
He is a leader. They got to like him more and more as they met with him. The personal interaction. They are united all the way through the organization, including Roberta Tepper, Dave Tepper's mom, who turned 91 today. She also is a huge fan.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Ian, to me, when you talk to the folks at Alabama, the way they run their program there on Sundays, they get the game plan. They have an army of analysts that are putting the game plan for the following week together. They give him that on Sunday. And most quarterbacks, they're going to start going through that as the week goes along. He shows up on Monday having already swallowed all that information with suggestions, what he likes, what he doesn't like. And they said they meet as a staff, and a lot of times they go, yeah, he's right. Take that out. Let's put this in. This is the type of intelligence he has. Because every quarterback is interested. Yeah. Some are dedicated, and the very few are obsessed. This guy's obsessed.
When I talked to Bill O'Brien, which was his offensive coordinator at Alabama before that Texas.
Still waiting. Taking a sweet, sweet time.
It's got pressure on me to be prepared because I know he's going to be as prepared as I would be on a Monday morning. That's just the type of preparation that he has. And I'll tell you, some of this processing, it's not just post-snap, but it's also pre-snap. I don't think there was a quarterback in all of college football that controlled as much as Bryce Young controlled pre-snap, whether it was protections, changing plays. Let's not forget, CD, this was not the Alabama offense of 2020, certainly, or even 2021. He was playing with a group of wide receivers that, quite frankly, were a little below par for what Bama normally has, and an offensive line that was a bit below par for what Bama normally has. And he never said anything about it, never complained, and at times would just will his team into games and then into wins.
Well, either they agree with your point.
All right, so they're clapping. Looks like they chose their pick. You're showing the Carolina War Room. So we shall see. Commissioner should be coming out any second now to make the pick.
And I should say we're expecting it to be the quarterback, Bryce Young. If it is, then the NFC South.
Brett Beatty just hit a home run for the Mets. First of the season. Low fastball and got it to center field. First home run for Brett Beatty at home. And Alvarez gets a base hit. There we go.
Alabama's never had a first overall pick in the common draft era. The highest pick out of Alabama in the common draft era was Cornelius Pettit, second overall to Indianapolis in the 1987 draft. Joe Namath was the first overall pick of the 1965 AFL draft. And that's why we had him.
Rich, they're not crying in their Cheerios. So I noticed they've had like 40 first-round picks. That's like double anybody in the country, right? It's strange when you think about Alabama. Remember, for a long time, Alabama went without a Heisman Trophy winner. It's one of those strange things. That's long gone now. They've taken care of that. But Rich, you bring the Jets into it. And I think about Sonny Werblin when he was the owner of the Jets and they took Joe Namath. That was his guy. That's the guy he wanted. We heard about Roberta Tepper from Ian, who the mother of David Tepper. Don't think for a second that David Tepper wasn't heavily involved in this.
Still waiting. The sign says the pick is in, so just waiting for the commissioner to come out.
As you know, they went from one pro day, they went from C.J. Stroud, Ohio State's pro day, to Alabama's pro day, to Kentucky's pro day, and then went to Florida's pro day the next week. We're going to find out who actually is the chicken dinner winner right here for the first overall pick in this draft.
One thing I don't want to get lost here, this is a trade up. A lot of times a team with the first overall pick is the least talented team in the NFL. They were not up there. They moved up there. The talent on this roster, when you look at their depth chart, we've touched on their ability to win right away. That is not hope. This is very possible for them to get up and running right now.
Well, the last several weeks and months have been all question-filled when it comes to the NFL draft. We're about to get our first answer.
Here we go, guys.
We're about to announce the first pick of the
Number 1 pick, Carolina Panthers.
With the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young.
There you go, Bryce Young, number 1 overall pick.
So, Nick Saban, part of the Bryce Young contingent, celebrating the first overall selection out of the University of Alabama. C.J. Stroud. We'll soon discuss how much longer C.J.'s night might be, but right now it's Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson. And he's the first player out of the green room and out of Union Station to head to the stage and to put on a Carolina Panther hat. And welcome to the National Football League, Bryce Young.
Think about all the work over his life that went into this moment to get him right here. Been told he's too small his whole life. He goes to modern day, the premier high school program in the country, dominates. Then goes to Alabama, the premier college football program, and dominates. And here he is once again, the first pick in the draft. What an accomplishment.
At no point did it ever seem too big for him. He plays like he's getting to the stage with a slow heartbeat, with patience. This guy's in control all the time. And don't forget, was never afraid to humble himself. Played behind Mac Jones, the first round pick.
I do hope Bryce Young actually performs. Got to give it up for the short people.
Let's see what this man looks like on the field. We've heard everything about his character, everything about his work ethic. That's all off the charts. There's a lot to love about what you see as well. The guys have talked about him being a point guard in a way that Drew Brees distributed the football. That's why the comparison exists, not just because of their size. When I come down to the 4 Ps, let's start with pocket awareness. His sixth sense to be able to feel pressure, climb, get away from it, and deliver the ball accurately down the field. The boys, you get free rushers, he hangs in there. He's not the biggest guy, but he's not afraid. He gets his cleats in the ground. He'll take that hit and deliver the football. Ball placement, or Julius Brent's the corner for K-State. You can't cover it better than this. He's in perfect position. This ball is almost hand-delivered to the wide receiver. And then the playmaking. This offensive line was not quite what it's been in years past for Alabama. He had opportunities like this against LSU, CD, to make things happen, and he did.
Absolutely. And you already mentioned Drew Brees as a comp. How about I pay homage to Doug Flutie? Because what we're seeing here from Bryce Young, his ability to move around, locate target, put ball on target. Doug Flutie was doing that coming out of Boston College, but we weren't ready to receive him yet because of his size in the NFL. Had to go to Canada and then come back. But you're seeing the same playmaking ability. Doug Flutie born too soon. Kurt Warner talked about the ability to play from the pocket and play on schedule. We just saw that from Drew Brees. That's what you will get from Bryce Young.
And as you can see, he measures the same height as Kyler Murray, who was drafted first overall, as we remember, a couple of years ago. And this was the moment that he was receiving the news officially from the Carolina Panthers and hugging it out as a dream comes true.
The tough part, Joel, real quick, you saw the 204 listed. You saw the weights with the other guys. He's not a real 204. That was 204 to get there for the combine.
Hey, that's a fair ball. Lindor got a big hit here. There we go.
To some extent, although Drew is a little bit more like Bryce, those guys were thick.
There we go. That's a big hit right there by Lindor. That's what I'm talking about. 4-1 Mets, baby.
We'll have to jump in. The Cardinals are on the clock, so the Texans didn't wait very long to choose their next choice as we send things to Melissa Stark on stage with the first overall pick. Melissa?
Well, Rich, he swears he didn't know. You are the highest player drafted out of Alabama in the common draft era and the #1 overall pick. How does it sound?
It's still crazy. It's a blessing. I'm super grateful to be here. I'm super grateful for the blessings from God for allowing me to be here. I'm grateful for all the people that allow me to do it. As amazing as this moment is, and I'm going to try to live in the moment. I can't wait to get to work tomorrow and start building off of that.
Talk about getting to work. Carolina has needed a quarterback for a couple of years now. What are you bringing to this team?
Everything I have. I'm going to give everything to the franchise, to the organization, to the coaches, that believed in me and drafted me. And, I'm forever indebted for that. So everything I have for preparation, not just on Sundays, but throughout the entire week, I'm going to give it my all.
Sure, Panthers fans love hearing that. Congratulations.
Thanks very much. As I mentioned, the Texans did not take the full 10.
All right. Pick is in for the Houston Texans. Yep, Bryce Young, #1 pick. I think Bryce Young is going to be good. I don't care about his height. Who are the Houston Texans going to take? They need a quarterback. Are they going to take C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, or a defensive player, edge rush? We shall see. Pick is in, guys.
several teams in the top 10, hoping that the Texans pass on the quarterback so they can trade up for Stroud. We will see if that is reality.
Big pick here by the Texans. They don't take a quarterback. Look for a team to trade with the Arizona Cardinals at number 3 to take the quarterback they want of their choice. If the Texans don't take a quarterback here.
Cardinals are doing the first big mystery of the 2023 draft is about to be.
Commissioner is coming out.
The Texans take second overall.
With the second pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select C.J. Stroud.
Whoa, C.J. Stroud, Ohio State quarterback, going to the Texans. So 2 quarterbacks back to back, 1 and 2. Now, what are the Arizona Cardinals going to do? Are they going to keep the pick and take the best player available? They don't need a quarterback. Or will they trade? 2 quarterbacks left. Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. Very interesting. Tennessee Titans have been rumored to try to trade up to the 3rd pick. See if that happens.
They didn't have their quarterback in the future before this moment, and they have him now. They had to do this.
I didn't want to believe all this smoke because you can't believe it.
Ohio State quarterback.
For the last 2 years, as I said earlier, 8 of his games, he is surgical with the football. I mean, his ball placement, his anticipatory nature that he throws the ball with. He has been one of the best quarterbacks in college football, and this is, I believe, the accurate thing. And you can see some of them. He looks a little relieved, obviously elated and overjoyed. I mean, it's his draft stock that's been questioned significantly. It started with another Ohio State quarterback in Justin Fields, whether he was going to be still in Chicago or not. But it's C.J. Stroud who now comes out, emerges as the second overall pick in this draft after all.
And he is a pure thrower. You talk about pocket ability, he has that. Any questions you had about C.J. Stroud, though, they were answered in the game against Georgia in the playoffs. How about the pocket movement? Got to question whether or not he can move around, reset, deliver the ball. He shows you that ability. On time, in rhythm. The ball comes out of the same arm slot. He's a rhythm passer, and look at the ball placement where he's able to put it always on that upfield shoulder so you can run after the catch. Jalen Carter unblocked right in your face here. How do you get away from him? He does. Eyes up, deliver the ball down the football field. All these athleticism questions, he put them all to bed, making things happen outside the structure of the play. And he might not be going for 40, 50 yards. He's going to get you first downs with his athleticism.
Melissa?
Well, he is fired up, and you told me you've been dreaming about this day since you were 5 years old. What is it like to be the number 2 overall pick in the draft?
Yeah, first and foremost, I always give my Lord and Savior all the credit, Jesus Christ, man. Without him, I wouldn't be here. It's reason I'm here.
You're getting emotional.
Yes, ma'am. It's still a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work, and you're going to a team that's looking for a new identity. Got a new head coach, looking for a leader. What do you bring?
I bring me. I bring a man of God. I bring a leader. I bring somebody who's going to go to work every day and work their tail off. Somebody who comes from a winning tradition. Somebody who wants to win. And that's all I care about, man. So I'm going to be the best teammate, the best leader, the best quarterback I can be.
Fans love hearing that. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
Guys, there was a lot of talk about this S2 test and processing, and then does he make good decisions? Well, I can tell you that he does, and he makes great decisions with things like trajectory. You see that hole in the Rose Bowl finds Jackson Smith and Jigba, but it's also anticipating windows, and when he's throwing the football, he anticipates that mid-tier longer throw as well as anybody that I've seen over college football the last couple of years, and the accuracy down the field is extraordinary. This is why defensive coordinators, when I would talk to them before covering Ohio State, the opposing defensive coordinator, CD, they would say, this guy is surgical.
Yeah, guys, what I think about when I see C.J. Stroud play is pace. And you talked a little bit about it, Joel, but the pace on the football, understanding how to make different throws. Not can he make every throw? We know all the guys in the draft can make every throw, but can you make the right kind of throw? And I think about pace inside.
Arizona Cardinals are on the clock. What are they going to do? Trade? Are they going to trade it or are they going to keep the pick? Let's see. Very interesting to see.
He's got great tempo and pace with the way that he plays, with his mindset, and I believe that is something that can really translate to the National Football League. You saw the tears of joy and relief, perhaps, and the burst of elation when he hit the stage. Again, that whole S2 stuff, his intelligence has been questioned, his leadership's been questioned, his play has been questioned, and his whole the second overall pick was questioned, but that's in the end, he answered it by coming out and he's second overall pick.
But that's what you were saying, poor attitude at the end. Absolutely. He's had to hear.
Ruben, how you doing, buddy?
The other part you think about now, he joins a Texans team that has a new head coach for the third straight year. They want to stop that. Yep. This is stops there with D'Amico Ryans. They grow together. He's got a running game in Damian Pierce and a good offensive line. Laramie Tunsil, Titus Howard at tackles. Kenyon Green, he can develop at guard. They're giving him some pieces to start off with.
There's the Cardinals brass with 90 seconds. Ian, you've got big news?
News, a big-time trade. Sources say that the Houston Texans are trading up to number 3.
Whoa.
The Arizona Cardinals. So the
Houston Texans are trading for the number 3 pick. Just made the number 2 pick. What are they going to do? Wow.
Defensive player on the board. Absolutely wild. Nick Caserio is stunning us and wheeling.
Wow. Texans are extremely happy getting that number 3 pick. They moved up. How about that? What are they going to do?
From Cleveland in the Deshaun Watson trade, Nick Caserio is using it to trade back up into the 3rd spot, and they have just made a selection to go back-to-back. It looks like, did they pull off the Stroud Will Anderson?
Didn't we hear about this last night?
Here we go. Arizona Cardinals traded to the Texans. Texans get the 3rd pick.
They've got an opportunity with the assets they have to get the offensive identity of their team going forward and the defensive identity of their team going forward. Arizona's been shouting from the rooftops they want to get out, and the Texans have more ammunition than anybody else to get up. It just made so much sense. They pulled it off.
DJ, it's such a good call by you, and obviously following the breadcrumbs, but you also follow blueprints. Look at what, we had Sauce Gardner here before the draft. Look at what the Jets were able to do, guys, last year, getting 2 franchise calibers, 1 offense, 1 defense, and Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson early in that draft.
Well, to move all the way up from 12 to 3, and then for the Cardinals to move all the way down to 12, that's a large drop. It appears that they got Arizona, that Arizona got Houston's 2nd round pick next tomorrow night. They also got a 1st round pick and a 3rd round pick in next year's draft.
There you go. But again, they have 2 1s next year. So they're still going to pick in the 1st round next year.
After the Deshaun Watson trade coming into play tonight. So how about this? It goes quarterback, and then it goes Carolina, Texans.
And the smoke may clear right here because we've had the 2 quarterbacks we thought. Could this be Will Anderson coming up now? When we talked about Tyree Wilson and Trace going in.
Commissioner coming out. Once again, the Texans trade up for the Arizona number 3 pick. Who are they going to take after they took quarterback C.J. Stroud?
To the Houston Texans. With the 3rd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Will Anderson Jr.,
linebacker, edge rusher, Will Anderson from Alabama. First 2 of 3 picks going to the NFL. Will Anderson Jr., edge rusher, to the Texans.
This is one of the most remarkable beginnings of an NFL draft we can remember, and what we would have expected out of the most unpredictable draft coming in.
And we're coming off of a year. We had Sauce Gardner on the pregame. Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson were offensive and defensive rookies of the year, 2 top 10 picks. So giving your Jets a lot of hope. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers adds to that. They're candidates in Houston to have offensive defensive rookie of the year this coming season.
Yeah, once again, the smoke we kept getting the last 3 weeks, the last 2 weeks. This can happen, that can happen. The smoke is cleared, and it's going back to where we were in January, folks. The top 2 quarterbacks, after you watched them, they came off the board first. The best defender in college football over the last 3 seasons comes off the board first. Smoke, Joel, fire for everyone.
Ruben, I think the Jets had made it.
We're right back to
I have no problem with it at all.
All right, let's jump into Will Anderson in the video. Again, the elite character, elite work ethic, leadership, all that stuff's great. But when he gets on the field, this guy has got power and torque and plays the game in a manner that you see Khalil Mack play football. Run and pass, he's a complete player. He can dominate at the point of attack. He's done it for 3 straight years. When you watch him get after the quarterback, he's got incredibly strong hands. Talk about shock in your hands. He's able to get underneath the wrist, pop it up, and get home. He has a feel to go along with his suddenness. You get over your skis to the tackle. He feels it. He's going to counter underneath and get home with a sack. Think about the point of attack, stack and shed. That's Jamari Salter. He started a bunch of games for the Chargers last year. Keep in mind, he's playing against NFL players every week. And then you don't want to count for him on the backside. He's going to be able to close that door with his speed and his effort. Hey, the Houston Texans aren't messing around, guys. I love it.
You can see Cal McNair was on the phone. The Houston Texans have taken over this draft in Kansas City. For the moment, take it away, Melissa.
They trade up to get you. You're the first defensive player taken off the board. What does that say about what the Texans think about you?
Man, it means everything. You know, everybody don't know how much hard work goes into this, man. The sacrifice I made, the hard work, the dedication, everything that goes into this. They just see what happened on Saturday, but the process, man, I'm just so blessed and favored by God.
And we just talked to your new quarterback, the leader on offense. You're going to be the leader on defense. Look at this smile. I love it. What are you bringing? What are fans getting in you?
They're just getting a complete player, complete person, high character player, but also a good player, you know what I'm saying? He's going to go out there, do his job every snap, relentless motor, high mindset, good motivation, good energy on the team, jumping up and down, and that's what I'm all about. And I'm ready.
I don't even have to say it, but go get it.
Go get it. Let's go!
It's remarkable. Houston has 2 third-round picks, now 2 fourth-round picks. He's got a 4th in this trade, a 5th, 3 6s, and 2 7s. It's still to come. It's not like they just emptied the cupboard to do what they just did. Obviously, there's a 1 and a 3 next year, but they had a 1 to play with as well. And the pick is now in for Indianapolis.
All right, Indianapolis. The pick is in. Number 4. Who are they going to get? They were looking for a quarterback. Are they going to get Anthony Richardson or Will Levis? The remaining 2 quarterbacks on the board. Top quarterbacks. We shall see.
They got a little more work to do in this draft. They got some more resources, and now we get to the Colts CD, and this has got to be a quarterback. They have been on the veteran carousel forever, and we've got 2 off the board. We've got 2 more that are very intriguing, and there's a hot debate around the league about which way they should go.
Huge hot debate, but if we're following what we've seen so far, what has been the model? People have gone, I don't want to call it chalk, but you've gone back to what your eyes had told you. Who does Shane Steichen coach in Philadelphia, Joe Clark? There's some guy named Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, right? Pretty good football player, Stevie. David Jeremiah, the offense that he ran, he adjusted to Jalen Hurts and what he did. Yep. Did they not get Gardner Minshew this offseason to run the offense? Yes. To me, it points towards Anthony Richardson because you get that year to groom him and run your offense accordingly. Doesn't mean Will Levis is out of it, but that's what it feels like on a night to night where everybody has gone kind of according to the form we thought when we started this whole thing in January.
You've heard Will Levis everywhere connected with them. So you're either thinking, man, the Indianapolis Colts have a great leaky building because everybody knows they're taking Will Levis, or they're putting that smoke screen of all time and putting it out there. Richardson.
This feels like Anthony Richardson to me, Joel.
Well, it does to me as well. By the way, I think it's a great fit for Richardson because you're getting a strong run game with Jonathan Taylor. Now you help Taylor. The guy that can hold the edge as a quarterback, and you can go down the field and feature that big arm and play action pass. So on the field, it makes
a lot of sense for me as well. And Rich, real quick before we go.
Yeah.
Carolina at 1, when they moved up, the owner has been saying, I have to have that quarterback. They've been trying for a while. They've swung and missed a few times. They got him now. Did the Indianapolis' owner not say, I have to have that quarterback? Right here, these two have gotten theirs, I think, here in the first 4 picks.
Seahawks 2 and change already into their 5th overall choice. Well, let's find out if we get a
All right, here we go.
in the first 4 picks.
Pick is in for the Colts.
With the 4th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Anthony Richardson.
Whoa, Florida Gators quarterback Anthony Richardson
So,
taking over Will Levis.
lit up the combine in Lucas Oil Stadium. Who knew he was just leaving the light on for himself? He will be going back to Indianapolis, where he crushed the combine, and he is the quarterback of the moment. You can see the emotion pouring out of this young man from the University of Florida. He is the young quarterback chosen by the Indianapolis Colts. The fan base has been waiting to see a young quarterback come out of the draft room with the blue horseshoe on his head, and he is Anthony Richardson.
Remember Bo Jackson ran out of the stadium? Anthony Richardson, after he clocked that 4.43, just ran right into the locker room there in Indianapolis and put his clothes in there, knowing that's where he was going to be.
All you gotta do, guys, is offensive team against Utah. And you're like, well, my evaluation's done. Let's take him.
Played very well against Tennessee. We did. You know, I know everybody wants to point to the Kentucky game where he had a struggle. I know it's only been 13 starts. But DJ, you better analyze this guy pretty well right from the word go.
Yeah, body type wise, he's Cam Newton. This is rare size speed combination. It's a little bit of a roller coaster ride when you watch the tape. What you can't question is the pure arm talent, the arm strength. How about the urgency and the twitch within the pocket? Be able to navigate around rushers against your ball CD. He's extremely sudden and explosive. This is the play of the year from the quarterback. Little jump, pump, fake, spin, and delivers a touchdown against Utah. Jalen Hurts, who you referenced, you want to run some power in between the tackles. He's 244 pounds, not a problem. And when you think about runners, you think about first downs with quarterbacks, not with Anthony Richardson. You think about touchdowns. It's not often you see QBs go 80 against LSU. This is going to be a fun offense to watch in Indy.
Listen.
Well, tears in his eyes. He's just saying, oh man, oh man. You told me earlier 13 starts don't define you. Clearly the Colts agree. You also said you'd be emotional. Tell us about those emotions.
I knew it was going to be emotional for me because I always dreamed of this, but when I got the call, it just hit me, like really hit me deep that I finally made it to this level, and I just got to keep working and do best.
You have called yourself Cam Jackson, a combination of the two players. What kind of player are you going to be?
I'm going to be a dynamic player for the franchise. You know, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to be a leader. But it's time to make my own legacy now. No more Cam Jackson. It's Anthony Richardson now.
Enjoy it all. These are happy tears.
Yes, man. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Kurt, man, exciting for that young man, and you guys have already talked about it. It's going to be a perfect fit from an offensive standpoint when we watch what Philly did, what Shane Steichen's going to bring to Indy. And they're hoping that it processes the same way, that when Jalen Hurts came out, a lot of people said the same thing. He's got to develop as a passer. I believe a lot of people feel the same thing about Anthony Richardson. But I believe it's an offense that allows you time to become that passer. They're going to give you some easy opportunities. They're going to have a lot of RPO, some of the quarterback run game, and give you the opportunity for a year or two to develop into that passer, as we saw Jalen Hurts did this year. And so that's got to be what Indy is hoping, is that we've got a dynamic young playmaker.
All right, guys, fifth pick. After the pick, we'll end this stream right here to see what goes on, but it's very interesting to see.
That's great stuff, Kurt. I would also add, when you think about their quarterback coach, you think about Cam Turner, but Cam Newton, that's right. Carolina State, not only have ties to Jalen Hurts, they've got ties to Cam Newton with what they're doing offense.
You know, we heard reference to 13 starts, right? And listen, that is a hurdle that teams have to get over.
This is why I think he needs to play. It's not about coming in and sitting behind someone. Anthony Richard needs to play football. And the reason is those 13 starts. If you look at the 11 quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls in the last 20 years, and you go back to their experience level at the college level, this is what you get. Basically an average of 34 starts in college football. Guys, 1,200 passing attempts, 700 completions, 70 touchdowns. That's what you get. In fact, you know the least experienced quarterback? Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers also played junior college football. So he needs to play right away. And I think that's why the fit is so important with all of those guys having touched Cam Newton and Jalen Hurts.
So I guess first blush, do you think he will play right away, or will he get Gardner Minshew like an opportunity to win the job? Or I mean, how do you see that playing out in Indianapolis as we now know it's Anthony Richardson?
I think his legs get him on the field, if not week one, very early. By the way, Jonathan Taylor, him in the backfield zone, read your defensive end. What do you want to do? Go.
Yeah. Nice. Well, what we got to do is go to break. We got to go to break. Yes, sir. Rich, 2.5 minutes to go until we get Seattle's choice. But it started with Bryce Young, and then yes, C.J. Stroud, and there was a trade to 3, but not for a quarterback. It was Houston to come back up and take Will Anderson for the Colts, and then Anthony Richardson's done.
All right, guys, commercial waiting for the 5th pick, Seattle. After this pick, we will end the stream. You get the first 5 picks. Top 3 quarterbacks already off the board. Gotta say, guys, the New York Rangers look really bad right now. Jeez. Excuse me. So there we go, guys. 3 quarterbacks taken off the board in the top 4. Bryce Young to the Panthers. C.J. Stroud to the Texans. Will Anderson to the Texans, trading up to take Arizona's pick at number 3. And then Anthony Richardson going to the Indianapolis Colts. Seattle Seahawks have their quarterback in Geno Smith. They're not taking a quarterback. Who are they going to take? Are they going to take an offensive lineman? We'll see. We shall see. Once they're about a minute away for the pick to be in, and the commissioner come back out to give the 5th pick of the draft. Still hanging in there, guys. Hit on that like button. See who the Seattle Seahawks take. I think they're going to take an offensive lineman. Good bone for the teams that need offensive linemen. Knowing that 3 out of the first 4 picks are quarterbacks, that helps. Teams that want to take top offensive linemen. So we shall see. Pick is in for the Seahawks. Just waiting to come back, and the commissioner will say the pick. And guys, here we go. Waiting for the commercials to finish up, and we'll get the 5th pick of the draft. Alrighty, guys. So you're just tuning in. 3 out of the 4 picks. Texans had 2 picks. Colts had a pick. Panthers had a pick. Panthers, Bryce Young. Texans, C.J. Stroud. Edge rusher, Will Anderson, go to the Texans. Texans trade up to take the Cardinals pick at number 3 and take Alabama's linebacker, Will Anderson. And the 4th pick that was just picked was the Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Florida, to the Indianapolis Colts. Who will Seattle Seahawks take? We shall see. Here we go.
I guess hatred of a Union Station is sitting in the great room with his family, waiting to hear his name called. The Seattle Seahawks, using the choice that belonged to Denver that was traded to them in the Russell Wilson trade they could have never imagined it would yield them the 5th overall pick. And this player.
All right, here comes the pick, guys.
In the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Devin Witherspoon, quarterback.
Wow, quarterback Devin Witherspoon, Illinois. Very interesting pick. Giants pick later in the draft, 25th, I believe. All right, guys, there you go. Devin Witherspoon, Illinois cornerback, goes to the Seahawks. That is the top 5. Once again, guys, Bryce Young to the Panthers. C.J. Stroud to the Texans. Will Anderson, linebacker, to the Texans. Anthony Richardson to the Colts. And Devon Witherspoon to the Seattle Seahawks, cornerback. There you go, guys. Everybody have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the NFL draft. Mets fans, let's see if the Mets can hold out the Nationals. And Ranger fans, let's hope the Rangers can come back and win the game against the Devils. Everybody have a great night. Enjoy the draft. See you next time, guys.